Most times it is very easy to begin an action for the sake of Allah, but along the line deviate and get carried away, and our intentions change in the process. Many of us strive to give our kids a good Islamic upbringing, but at times we find out that our intentions change for different reasons. Perhaps to show the world we are amazing moms, or for our kids to stand out amongst their peers, or so we can boast that they are fluent in Quran and Arabic. Likewise, when we run our homes effectively, sometimes we fall into the temptation to tell and show the world how much of a superwoman we are, instead of remembering that we are doing it because Allah made us the guardians of our husbands' houses and we are responsible for how we run it. Another intention struggle area is our businesses and work. Instead of doing it with the sole intention to support our family and Islam, just like Khadija radiallahu anha did, we find ourselves pushing to show the world we are independent women and equal to our husbands, or so we can do as we wish with our money. Sadly, these intentions can destroy us completely. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the famous hadith, "Verily actions are by intentions, and for every person is what he intended." So the one whose hijrah was to Allah and His Messenger, then his hijrah was to Allah and His Messenger. And the one whose hijrah was for the world to gain from it, or a woman to marry her, then his hijrah is for what he made hijrah for. Imam Abu Dawood said this hadith is half of Islam, while many scholars consider it the greatest of all ahadith. This is because Allah only accepts deeds that are done solely for His sake and according to how His Prophet ﷺ told us to do. In another lengthy hadith, the Prophet ﷺ told us about the first category of people that will enter hellfire. The man who died on the battlefield, another who learned knowledge of the deen and taught it, while the other gave out charity continuously. They will all be dragged to hellfire because they did all these honorable things so that people will praise them. Imagine, not only will they not be rewarded, but they will be punished woefully. وَإِيَّاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Another point to note is that when we do deeds without any intention, whether good or bad, we will not be rewarded. So why would we want to spend so much time doing something and not be rewarded by Allah at the end? The knowledgeable and righteous companion of the Prophet ﷺ, Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiallahu anhu, was reported to have said, "As for me, I seek to gain reward from my sleep just as I do when I am awake." Thus, having good intentions behind everything we do makes it carry so much weight. Unlike when it is done without Allah in mind, it becomes weightless, fruitless and futile. But we can inshallah overcome this struggle and have the full reward for all our deeds if we incorporate the following. Number 1, by hiding our good deeds as much as we can, so that we will not be tempted to do actions seeking for their praise. In the Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about charity, He said, "In tubdu sadaqati fa ni'immahi, wa in tukhfuha wa tu'tuha al-fuqara'a fa huwa khayrun lakum, wa yukaffiru ankum min sayyi'atikum, wallahu bima ta'maluna khabir." Meaning, if you disclose your charitable expenditures, they are good. But if you conceal them and give them to the poor, it is better for you, and He will remove from you some of your misdeeds. And Allah, with what you do, is fully acquainted. Number 2, by teaching ourselves to have good intentions even for normal day-to-day activities to maximize our rewards. For instance, when we cook, we could make the intention to feed those under our care. When we go to our places of work, we should make the intention that we are working to support our family. Before we sleep, we should make the intention to rest so that we can wake up and serve Allah better, and so on. Our sole purpose of existence is to please Allah, and so everything we do, we should try and make it into an act of worship to gain more reward. Number 3, by frequently reminding ourselves of the hadith of the first 3 people that will enter hellfire. This should keep us in track. All these people were doing acts of ibadah, but because their intention was not solely for Allah, Allah will punish them. May Allah not make us amongst them. Ameen. Number 4, by renewing our intentions when they begin to change and seeking the pleasure of Allah at the beginning, middle and end of every deed we do. We need to keep renewing our intentions constantly. And lastly, number 5, by constantly making dua that Allah should purify our intentions. The Prophet ﷺ used to make dua saying, Allahumma tahhir a'mali min riyah. O Allah, purify my actions from show off. And so we end with this beautiful dua with the hope that Allah will be pleased with us. Allahumma inna nas'aluka ridaka wal jannah wa na'udhu bika min sakhatika wan nar. O Allah, we ask you to be pleased with us, to reward us with the paradise, and we seek refuge with you from your anger and the punishment of fire. Ameen.
If you have benefited from this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Deensisters, to help us make more videos. You can also get yourself or a loved one a valuable item from our charity shop from bit.ly/dscharity_shop. Jazakumullahu khairan.